In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the environment on a Windows PC to run the BlipBrowser software. Now, this is a very old, 11-year-old Windows laptop, so it is rather slow and ancient. So I will cut bits of video while it does some of its work. Anyway, so I hope the jumps aren't too unnerving. So the first thing you need to do is to download two pieces of software. One is required, the other is optional. The first one is the Java development software to run Java. It's free and you can get it downloaded from the web. And the other one is LibreOffice. Again, a free word processing package, very similar to the Microsoft Office environment, but again, it's free and again runs on a whole range of platforms like Linux, Mac, Windows, etc. So I'm going to show you how to download those pieces of software. So the first thing we need to do is to download the JDK. So I've this is going to a second, right? So the website you need to go to do this is jdk.java.net/21. That's the release I've been working on, and you see the various packages for this software. Now the one we're going to download is the Windows zip file. Now these things here, you see the SHA sums. These are like fingerprints for the files and allow you to determine whether they have been tampered with or not. So once you download the file, you run a command to generate the fingerprint, and then you compare it with the fingerprint that was expected, just to make sure that nothing untoward has happened in transit. It's good practice. It's not actually required, but you know, I generally do it when I'm downloading software from the more unusual places. It doesn't guarantee things are perfect, but it's a reasonable precaution. So to do that, we're going to run a command tool in a minute. I'll just get that set up. But anyway, so we're going to start by downloading the zip file. And I already had one go at this, but couldn't remember the command to do this checking, so I came back to do it again. Right, so this file downloads relatively quickly, if you've got a decent internet connection, I suppose. And at the end of that, you should have that file if your browser is set up in what I might consider the normal way, a file in the downloads directory. By the way, in the command tool, you can use a tab key to complete file names, so you can save on typing. So there's the JDK downloaded. So I'm going to run this command called certutil. I'm going to check quickly what the command syntax is for this. It's not something I do regularly, so I want the word hash file. So type hash file. Oops, type it correctly. Hash file. Not that one. I want the open that one, and I think the command end was SHA-256. Oops, SHA-256. So say this will generate a long string of digits. So that's the result, and what you want to do is to compare it with the number that you get in this file. And visually, I'm just going to compare it. So it starts with B6C and ends in 664. So that looks correct to me. You know, if you were going to do this properly, you'd go through this and compare them completely, but yeah, we're not expecting the Secret Service to be snooping on us. So that's the first piece of software downloaded. Now, what I'm going to do next is install that. So we're in the downloads directory. Double click to go into there, and I want to extract that. So that's a zip file. If I right click, right click. I'm on a Mac, so this is my right click is, there we are, extract all. And I'm going to just do that, and I'll show you how to move stuff around afterwards. So this extracts the JDK software from that zip file. And as you can see, this is a very slow laptop. I think it's virtually instantaneous on my Mac that I'm running this on, or running the video recording on. But 11 years old, that's like Methuselah in PC terms. Hurrah! Okay, so this is the download directory. You can see that it's downloaded to downloads. It's put it in its separate directory, and it's got something called JDK-21.0.2. It's going to be a pain if it's left there. It would work. Well, it does work from there, but it just makes your life from a typing perspective so much more difficult. So what I'm going to do is just drag this folder into Tim Reed. And that will simplify our lives immensely. So if we just simply go back, we can get rid of these, by the way. Now these are all redundant, so you can just delete them. So there's nothing in there. Nice to be clean and tidy. If we go into my home directory, you can see there's a JDK directory, and in here is the software that's absolutely crucial to this. You can ignore most of this. It's this one, Java. This is the command we're going to be running to run the BlipBrowser software. We could stop there pretty much in terms of software installation and run the BlipBrowser software. And if you want to do that, I'll show you how that's done. So let's simply create a new folder in here. And I'm going to call it BlipBrowser because that again will simplify your life. And again, double click to go into that file. Now there's nothing in there at the moment, but if I have emailed you the zip file or you've downloaded it from the web, then I would recommend that you put the software into this area. It just makes it nice and tidy. So I'm going to file transfer it over from my Mac. It's here, so I'm just going to send it over to the BlipBrowser directory on here. Let's send. That's the one I want to send. It's incredibly small. This is a matter of a few 100K, and I am now going to extract that. Again, it's a zip file. I'm going to extract all of it. I'm going to put it back in the same directory. So remove this subdirectory, and off we go. Right. So we can get rid of this zip file that we've just created, the compressed zip, and let's just delete that. Right, so this is the BlipBrowser software, and I'll show you how to start it immediately. So you could stop this video at that point. So let's minimize this. So you've got a command tool. Let's again start this from scratch. This is probably where you'd be if you'd installed this and were ready to use it. Simply go to the run box down here, type cmd to run a command prompt. This always, or almost always, unless you've got some weird setup, starts in your home directory. So if you type JDK, again use tab, /bin, /java, Java, -jar, and then BlipBrowser, again using the file completion, blipbrowser.jar. This will run the software. And there we go. You accept the terms and conditions. So this is free software, so I've done my best to make sure it doesn't do anything nasty. It only ever gets stuff from the Blip website. There is no pushing stuff back, no updating of comments, updating of entries. There is only an interface to do gets, to pull stuff down, not to push back up. So I'm pretty confident that it won't do any damage to your Blip entries. It can only download stuff to your PC or Mac, and there are a small risk of overwriting files that you might have already downloaded in terms of images or text files, and those are mostly prompted for. So I'm pretty confident it doesn't do any damage, but as I say, you never can tell, so you'd have to accept these terms and conditions. And that brings up the interface. Now, as I say, these are the Blip usernames and passwords up here. So what you need to do to get yourself authenticated, if you don't want to put in these, you don't feel comfortable with those, you need to put in an authentication token on here. And to do that, you need to register yourself a user. So I've been doing some further research for upgrades. I'm going to take my own Lawnel. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier in the video, at the bottom of the page is something called API, and you go to the register. What we'll do is we'll create a new app here. So I'm going to call this demo, and it's a distributed application. You have to agree by Blip's rules, which you're happy to do, hopefully. And if you press this button, you will get on the next page two things: a client ID number and a access token. So this is the sort of page you'd be presented with after you press that button. This is for the one that I've registered, Lorna Test, and you get the client ID and an access token. These are long strings of numbers. You'll need to copy and paste the one that's under the access token piece. And you simply paste it along with your other credentials, and away you go. So if you're happy with that, then you can stop this video here. But if you're interested in doing the output side of things, then you'll need to install LibreOffice. And again, that's a piece of free software, LibreOffice.org. And you'll need to download this. So I use this all the time for all my documents. I don't have Word on my Mac. So if you want to download the latest version for, in your case, Windows, or if you're using Windows. If you're using Mac, check you get the right version, Apple Silicon or Intel, and download Windows Defender, checking it. There we go. Right. So okay, we can get rid of the browser now. We can close that. We don't need that anymore. Right. So again, going to the download directory on your computer, you should have a Windows installer. As I say, this could take 15 minutes, so I will pause the video, or I will cut the video as appropriate. But anyway, double click on that, and that will kick off the installation process. The reason I've chosen LibreOffice is it offers what's called a command line interface for file conversion. I've looked into doing it for Word. It doesn't seem as straightforward, and so this is why I've chosen LibreOffice. Also, the fact that LibreOffice is free, which is always a good thing. So I'm just whizzing through the screens. You just basically take the defaults. I wouldn't use the deload during startup, but create a shortcut on the desktop is all fine. So that will start, and in a second it will prompt to do the installation. You will need to be an administrator to do this of your machine. So this won't work on corporate laptops where you are restricted about what you can install. But if you are, it's your own laptop, you will have this option. So here we go. Do I want to install it? Yes, I do. And this will then go away and validate the installation. And you can probably sit and twiddle your thumbs for, in this case, probably several minutes. Okay, and we're done. So that's good. Right. And again, you can delete this just to be tidy. Just delete that. And to run it, obviously, just to make sure it's running. As I say, this is just a good old word processor. You can type stuff into. Right, it's a word processor. That's good. Right, so it's working. Okay, so don't save that. We can close that. And now if we go and run the BlipBrowser again. Right, okay. So back to this. Okay, accept the terms and conditions. Right, okay, so let me log in. I'm going to log in as me, Lorna L. Paste and authenticate myself. Say this is a Windows system that's very old. Okay, we're logged in. Download, and you see it's found LibreOffice is installed, so all well and good, we can download stuff. Let's just prove that it's working. Let's take one day. Image, metadata, comments, extras, choose location. Did I make myself a... let's go and make a directory. Let's go make one over here, call it new folder, blip downloads, and in there make two directories. Blip downloads, I want to make a new folder, call it images. I want to make a new folder, call it texts, and okay, we're done on that. So we're going to do up, down, refresh, blip downloads, images there, and texts here, and we'll just do it, I think, for the previous day because its comments are more interesting. So let's go back one, previous entry, downloads. I'm going to take it as LibreOffice, that all in one go, and yeah, so that's a pretty maximal entry. Yeah, you're not both. Yeah, okay, so that's another point. If you're not a full member, you can't, if you were logged in, you wouldn't be able to download your high-res images. That's standard blip practice, so that's just really pointing that out. And we're done. Yes, we want to do the file conversion, but that's done. And that's done. So we can quit out of here, and all being well, with our fingers crossed, in our downloads directory with our texts, we have a PDF of our combined entries. And da 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 da, fanfare, please. We have there we are, an entry, and okay, this is just scrolling through. There's the metadata, and also you can do comments. It also puts in the icons, and yeah, all very nice. So hopefully that will work for you too. Thank you.